moving on with the part 2 of the GameCube collection. Let's start here. Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2. This is really funny because, you know, the first Xbox was really good with its online functions, and the PlayStation 2 was as well, I guess, and GameCube not so good. But actually the GameCube was the first machine of the generation to go online, and this was the game. Practically the first and only game for the GameCube to go online. I really put in some decent hours on this offline, though. I wasn't really that hooked up internet-wise back in the day, and didn't really want to pay for the monthly fee. But I played this with a friend offline, and a real great action RPG. You know, really addictive, collecting all the items and stuff like that. Nice memories. There was also an episode 3 for the GameCube, and only for the GameCube again, but this is really a different game. This is a card strategy game, not an action adventure RPG. So, but still a nice addition. Pikmin 1 and 2. I'm really looking forward to Pikmin 3 on the Wii. You know, most of the time Nintendo makes new installments of their existing franchises, but this is one of the few new franchises on the GameCube, and it is absolutely fantastic. Again, the Nintendo touch is here really charming, but and this is Nintendo's take on real-time strategy games, and it does a real great job. You know, the visuals are, you know, they look childish, okay, but the game's really anything but really solid strategy game. Check it out if you're into GameCube. Those games are a must. And then product number 3. Now this is the only game of the Capcom 5 that wasn't ported to the PlayStation 2. And you know, if you look into a dictionary under the word cool, you know, you will see this game. The music, the main character, the action, it really is simply cool. This is a tough game to get into. It's really points based, and you know, you really have to concentrate on it. But you know, if you persevere, it really rewards you. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. They did a nice job with resurrecting an old franchise with these games, and this was the first of the trilogy for this generation. But then one of the crown jewels of GameCube, the Resident Evil series. You know, it's really great that they ported. Capcom did a really good job that they ported the whole series for the GameCube. It all started with the remake of the first one, which is still one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. You know, they really haven't done that many modern games with pre-rendered backgrounds, and this is one of the best areas. Same thing with Resident Evil 0. Really nice additions to the GameCube library. But you know, we have 2, 3, and Code Veronica X, and naturally one of the best games of the whole generation, Resident Evil 4. So kudos to Capcom for supporting the GameCube this much, and it's really nice that you can play the whole game series on one console. Well, up to number 5, naturally only. Skies of Arcadia Legends, really one of my favorite RPGs, ported from the Dreamcast, and this has some added bonus features as well, but you know, the charm is here. I would say that's one of the best games on the Dreamcast as well. Sonic Adventure DX. You know, when Sega went belly up in the console console making business, they divided their games to all other three platforms, and Nintendo originally got Sonic. Soul Calibur 2, naturally you have to get the GameCube version because there is Link there. Really solid 2D fighter, 3D fighter, but what am I saying? Starfox Adventures, the last game on Nintendo's consoles by Rare, if you don't count the handheld games that they started making, even though they were owned by Microsoft. This really isn't as good as it should have been. A Zelda clone made by Rare sounds like a game made in heaven, but it's not as good, but still a really decent adventure game. I like it. Super Mario Sunshine. This isn't as good as Super Mario Galaxy, and it isn't as good as Super Mario 64, but then again, what game is? Still probably the best platforming game of the generation. And then my pride and joy, the same game with Shigeru Miyamoto's signature here and the date that he signed it. Really happy to own this one. Super Monkey Ball, a launch game, and actually I still play this once in a while with my friends. The minigames are just so good, but as one-player experiences, these are some of the the most hardcore games there are. I dare you to finish all the levels without dying. It is madness. Really great games. Super Smash Bros. Melee. One sealed here as well. A real juggernaut of a game. This is still played highly competitively in tournaments, and many people say that this is better than Brawl. I don't necessarily agree, but still one of the best games on the GameCube. An absolute must own. Beautiful Joe 1 and 2, and these are the American versions. I picked these up for $2 or $3 a piece when I visited America last summer, USA last summer, and then there was Beautiful Joe, Red Hot Rumble, and all these games. First, Beautiful Joe was really unique, really edgy, almost an underground game. But after that, I felt that the series experienced a bit of inflation with all the crazy installments it had. But the first one is still a classic, second one great, but the rest not so great. But at the time it was something really different. WarioWare, Mega Party Games. This was a real surprise. This is one of the funnest games I have ever played. If you have friends that play video games, get this game now. It's an absolute riot. Wario World, a bit more traditional adventure game, not even a platformer. I wouldn't say, made by Treasure actually, but this I don't know, maybe a mediocre game at best. This isn't nearly as good as Mario games, but it's still fun. Waverace Blue Storm, one of the best racing games on the GameCube. Like Waverace 64 was on the Nintendo 64. Really nice water effects even to this day. Then we have here Mario Party 6 with microphone, Mario Party 7 with microphone, and Odama with microphone. This is the really kooky pinball war strategy game. It's really hard to explain how it works. They tried to make it even more crazy than it is at the moment. They thought to use the Donkey Kong bongos as the controller, but then they opted for just the normal controller and a microphone. see. And another boxed set here is Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. Really a nice multiplayer game and beautiful 2D graphics. Worthy Zelda game. Finally, we have some Japanese games. Kurukururin Squash. This was the first Kururin game, was a launch game for the Game Boy Advance. Dragon Drive D-Master Shot, a crappy game but made by Treasure, so I had to have it. 3 puzzle games in one box. Panel de Bon, Dr. Mario and Yoshi's Cookie. Came with a Game Boy Advance cable, as did this one. Pokemon box, just got it for the cable and memory card. Well, that's my GameCube collection. I hope I entertained you, and thanks for watching. Bye.